All right, good morning, everybody. Let's see. So let me see here real quick to see if I can do market open entry. Um, okay. So EMA. So market open entry for today is a sell. Majority of the, and again, this one I only take it with uh so this one is so the market open entry is just like to see the direction of bias, but market open bias is for a sell. We also just retested the pre-market low for today. Give me one moment here. All right, so let's wait for the EMA entries and all. Um, So market open again is for a sell. For this one, it's like 50-point stop loss, 100 points TP. I just recommend waiting for the regular scalps that we take. So this is just like an account. I normally just take this trade on one account with very low risk. But the rejection scalps are what we want to look out for. But here you can see that majority of the EMAs are red on market open. So typically I would expect price to be bearish. Now, yesterday when we got, as much as we took those back-to-back losses yesterday, if you see what price ended up doing, so I was my bias for the whole time was um was bullish for US30. So, and you can see what happened here. This is where we got stopped out when I was taking those buys, right? And then you see what eventually ended up happening. I did say that I was expecting price to go towards the all-time high, which it came close to. I think the all-time high is 45,100. But I did say I was expecting US30 to come to about to come to about 44,900, which after the live session ended, we had this reversal back to the upside. So the bias yesterday was correct. Unfortunately, we just ended up having, getting stopped out. And that is to be expected in during markets where price is close to like the all-time high. You expect a lot of rejection, either to both the upside and downside, because you have, yesterday I was mentioning like at this area, you had sellers trying to push price back down because people are expecting, since price is near the all-time high, for price to push back down. And then you had buyers, which I do consider smart money, kind of trapping those sellers. And then you see this big push, this big candle here that eventually ended up breaking price to the upside. So in periods where you have all-time highs. So for me, I really actually don't try to sell at all-time highs unless I have confluences. So in any case, I try to go with the opposite of what retail traders would do, because most retail traders try to sell at all-time highs because they expect that retracement, and you normally have that slight retracement, but eventually price keeps pushing up because like this big candle that happened yesterday, it was pretty much just taking liquidity from all the sell stops or all the sell orders that were in this zone. So as soon as price hit that area, it had a big push to the upside. But anyway, unfortunately, yesterday was just an unfortunate day where we just got caught in that back and forth between buyers and sellers. But again, as I said, after such a day, typically, other than 2 weeks ago when I had like two back-to-back losing days, typically after such a day, the next couple of days are normally good trading days for me. So we'll see. So here we have a 4-hour EMA that hasn't been retested. Looking at the 4-hour time frame, so the only thing with this EMA is that it is close to, let's see. Okay, so I will take a sell here for this 4-hour EMA if price does get there. This order block is a bit far off. This we do have a bullish order block here, but it's since as price keeps pushing up, this EMA will go further up and it will be further away from this order block. So I will be taking the sell there. Again, bias for today is bearish. The reason for that, or market open bias is bearish. The reason for that is we are below 100% of the EMAs that are next to price. So worst case, I think worst case scenario, maybe go to the highest EMA and come back down, but bias for market open is bearish. So there is this small trade that I did say I normally take on just one account with like $200 risk going for a 1:2 risk to reward. But again, I just want to focus on the rejection scalps, but bias currently is bearish, and I think my entry for this trade is somewhere here, but I want to focus more on the rejection scalps and not this particular one. But I'm looking to take a sell if we do touch that 4-hour EMA right there, and looks like we are also about to form a crossover sell, which is the crossover of this EMA1 and EMA2. So here what I'll do, so I'll get ready with the 3 entry models here. I don't even know if we are going to come back up. We just have a lot of EMAs that we need to break. 1:1.5 and 1:1.
Bro, it's gone muted.
Shit. Thank you. So on my left, there's a daily EMA and the 4-hour EMA. There is also a 30-minute, I'm sorry, daily SAR and 4-hour SAR. On my right, there's the 30-minute EMA. So the most optimal entry is this is a tricky one. I think I would rather take a buy at the not at the daily EMA. So we have three trade setups here. So we have two SARs for a buy and one EMA for a buy. The EMA, the 30-minute EMA is in between the daily 30-minute EMA is in between the daily and 4-hour buy. Um, So I always say if you find a bunch of levels at the same price point, go for the most optimal one or go for the most optimal ones. So here, if price comes down to this daily, I mean, it is in a good area. We have an hourly bullish order block here, but also on the 30-minute EMA, 30-minute EMA, we do have a 15 minutes. So I think price is more likely to come around the 30-minute EMA. So I would rather take the 30-minute EMA entry and take the 4-hour buy entry. Because here, let's assume worst case scenario. We take the daily buy, daily SCR entry, it loses. We come and take the 30-minute EMA too, it loses. And eventually we take the 4-hour buy, which probably ends up winning. So on like a 10 point or model one account, you'd go back to break even. On the Model 3 account, which is structure change account, you would ideally be down one trade. So I think I would rather take two trades here instead of taking three trades. So I'm going to skip this daily buy entry and I'll focus on the 30-minute EMA. The best case scenario here is that if we were to get a big push to the downside that satisfies all three trades, so if we get a big pump to the downside, that would be the best case scenario because it would satisfy all three trades and it would just give us just one trade entry. So we'll see what that ends up. And also, of course, here price is being held by Thursdays, which is today's pre-market low, which we've already tested during market open. Right. So this one. Okay, we do have a 15-minute SAR that has been formed here, which is next to the next. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, the 15-minute SAR, I wouldn't, it lines up with the 4-hour EMA. So I'm not going to take the trade based off of the 15-minute SAR because there is no, it's a 15-minute level. There is no supply zone on the 15-minute level. But that 15-minute SAR lines up with the 4-hour EMA. And on the 4-hour time frame, there is a supply zone on the 4-hour time frame. So I will take the trade based off of the 4-hour EMA and not based off of the 15-minute SAR buy. But we already know that the 15-minute SAR, I'm sorry, the 15-minute SAR that comes up after market open more times than not shows a reversal in the opposite direction. So when I see this particular one here, which is why for this particular trade here, I'd done this markup, right? Price can go to the highest EMA and come back down. So for me, I'll still wait for price to come to the 4-hour EMA. So the 4-hour EMA is somewhere maybe 44,789. So the model one will probably be at 44,799, which is the 1:2 entry. And I'm just doing a basic write-up of it here. Note 790. Um, see. Okay, so we've already tested the 4-hour EMA. So 793. So the entry 793 plus 10 is 803. So if I do get a crossover sell right here, this trade is invalidated. So I need to let me do this. So as I've put it here, so for model one, that's the threshold entry. Wait for price to get 10 points, 10 points past. Okay, so I'm taking the 10-point entry now. So I'm in the 10-point entry, which is model one. Definitely the riskiest model. And now I'm waiting for model two. So remember, for me, I take 3 trade setups. So model two is the trend change. Model two is the trend change. So I just need to see a red candle. If I do see a red candle, I will take that sell as well. Okay. And here, okay. So I'm in the so and also our 5-second entry as well. It's in the same area. So I'm in those 3 trade setups right there. And I will keep writing this right here for the models. So this is the 4-hour EMA. Let's see. 44,792. This is the 1:1. 792 somewhere there. Think that's where the entry is. All right, so three trade setups right there. Validated. And again, keep in mind we still have two bearish EMAs at the top, which price can go to the hourly EMA before rejecting back down. But I think this is probably the last EMA sell that we can take here, or I can take. After that, the only other sell that may come up is maybe an SAR. So if we keep pushing up, the only other sell that may come up would be an SAR sell. And even then, it would have to come all the way up here from 44,861 on the 15-minute time frame, because from 44,861, that is where we have a supply zone on the 15 minute for that one, or for those ones. EMA, EMA, EMA. Right. So the 20, I'm sorry, the third model, which is what we use for official trade. So those ones I've gotten stopped out. I'm still in the 10-point entry. And this happened yesterday as well, where we got stopped out of the one risk to reward entries, and then price came back and pushed into profit. So I'm still in the 10-point entry, but unfortunately, Model 2 and Model 3 have gotten stopped out, and literally just gotten stopped out, and price has come back down. So again, it's expected. Anytime you see prices in a bunch of levels at the same time, right? You just have to find a way to enter those trades as needed, because it does get tricky and it does allow or open price up for quite a bit of manipulation. But it is what it is. Um, so model one is a threshold entry. Wait for price to get 10 points past an SAR, EMA, or pre-market level. Note, if price reaches any of the levels above and gives a structure change, and structure change here, a structure change on so let me put it this way. A structure change on the 5-second time frame, that setup is invalid. So once price touches an EMA, SAR, or pre-market high or low, you don't want to get a crossover buy or sell. So you don't want to see a red X or green X until your 10-point threshold is met. So for example, here, the EMA that I was trading here was at 44,900. So when price reached 44,900, no structure change happened. So the structure change actually happened after the 10-point threshold has been met. And full TP, so full TP on my 10-point account. Unfortunately, for the 5-second entry account, or for the structure change account, and just keep in mind going forward, I'll just be referencing them by models. But for the Model 3 accounts, which is what we use to track our statistics, unfortunately, today is a loss. But for me, on the 1:2 accounts, which is the 10-point entry accounts, I just, hit TP. So, and those are 200K accounts. So that's 4K per account. Most of my accounts are 200K. So overall, across most of my accounts, I'm in profit. And then I've lost on the other two accounts. So ideally, I think I'm at break even across all accounts, because I'm risking, so I won 4K and lost 4K. So across all of my accounts, it's break even. But yeah, so you can see in markets like this, especially when you have a bunch of levels next to each other, you do expect a bit of manipulation. Okay, if we close above in 2 minutes, if we close above the 15, actually we don't have, I thought we had a sub demand zone here, so never mind. So there isn't any, let's see. I think I'd gotten slipped on this trade. So the entry 44,792. Oh, I entered all the way down here. So I got stopped out for those ones. Give me one moment. I think I got my trade copier to finally work on all accounts. Let's see. Give me a second. Let's see. Yes. Top one, closed positions. Wow. Huh. Wait. Give me a second. Okay, so it copied. All right, so my E8 account copied. It's 4K profit. All right, so so currently based off of where price is at, we're looking for buys. I'm sorry, for sales because we're pushing up. Just a second, I just want to make sure my account's copied. So today is the 24th. Okay, client area. Metrics. Okay, 30-minute EMA. So if we go to the 30-minute, so 30-minute so price has closed above the 30-minute. Question is, do we have a demand zone on the 30-minute? No, we do not. So the 30-minute EMA has been retested, but we do not have a demand zone on the 30-minute. We don't have a demand zone on the 15-minute here. Prices close above the 15-minute EMA1 and EMA2 if we turn on our demand zones. So the only potential buy is if price comes back down heavily to push, but this is a 200 EMA. So the 200 EMA is not going to shift back down here to the green zone because it's a very slow moving EMA. So all these EMAs here are invalid. The only valid EMA setup here is the 30-minute EMA2 that's all the way down there. And today, price is barely moving. 103K. This account is at 200K. Let's see. Profit for today, 2,000. Okay, dashboard. We do the nearest supply zone is all the way up here after 44,860. So if we do get an SAR anywhere above here, that would be a good sell in this zone that's all the way up here. And I think so you can see if we go to a bigger picture here, or if we go to a wider chart, the all-time high is here where we have this weekly bearish high. So price might easily come back all the way up and take out the all-time high today as well. So today we couldn't break the pre-market low. So you see all these rejections right here at the pre-market low and then push back up. So today we might get to that all-time high level. And there would be an entry here on today's pre-market high. But for the pre-market high trades, I don't take them on any of my funded account. I'm sorry, I don't take them on any of my accounts. I just like to stick with the EMA and SAR. I still need more statistics for the I'm sorry, for the pre-market highs and lows, and I haven't found too many of them or enough of them. Okay, that one made 1300. Okay. Trade copy. There is a 30-minute SAR that has been established here. So this 30-minute SAR, so it's in a perfect zone actually. So I'll set an alert. So it's at 44,895. So for that, and this is literally what I do. So when an SAR is established, I just do my 10-point markup. So currently it's at 44,895. I'll call it 44,896. I'll set an alert at what's 10 points plus that at 44,906. So I go ahead and set an alert. So that's literally where I am taking or I am looking to take my sales at. This is the one that hit TP. For today, again, it was just another unlucky day for the 10 point, I'm sorry, for the Model 3, which is the structure change entry. Um, I will see. 124 to 59. Details. Tracks. 24. Mm, Let's keep writing this out. Um, Two is trend change. All right. Mm, Trend color trend color change to bar. Look for a structure. All right. So these are the three entry models. One, threshold, two, trend change, and three, structure change. Structure change is the one we use to track our returns. It's the safest. So far, it's been the safest. Model one is the riskiest because you're not waiting for any confluence. You're just waiting for that 10-point threshold to be met. Model two is supposed to kind of mimic model three, but you're supposed to enter them in that order. So model one comes first. So without model one, if model one is invalid, there's no model two, model three. So model one is the threshold entry. So if there's no threshold, then you can't have model two and model three. Sometimes model three will come before, actually, sometimes Model 3 will come before Model 2. Sometimes Model 2 and Model 3 will come at the same time. But typically, Model 2 should come before Model 3. But Model 2, which is the trend change, you're just looking for, if you're looking for sales, you're waiting for the candle and not the actual candle because you need, if you're trading like I do, you need this particular indicator. So this indicator is color coded by trend. So when I say you are waiting for the bar color to change to the direction of your trade, I'm not saying that if the previous candles are bullish, you're looking for a bearish candle. Not really. Maybe you can, I don't know. But in order to trade like I do, you need access to the TradingView premium account that you have. At the very least, you need access to the 5 second time frame because all my entries are on the 5 second time frame. And then I guess you can experiment if you don't have this indicator. You can experiment by using the bar, just using the typical bearish bar and bullish bars. I don't know. That's not what I use. Not to say that it wouldn't work, but yeah. So for the trend change, you're just waiting after the threshold has been met. So after model one confluences have been met on the 5 second time frame, look for a trend change, i.e., bar trend color to change to the direction of your trade. So if you're looking for sales, you're just waiting for the color here to change from green to red. Model 3 is the one we use, just the one is to one risk to reward. So Model 3, again, just wait for Model 1 confluences to be met. And then on the 5 second time frame, again, look for a structure change, i.e., you're just looking for this crossover buys or sells. So you're looking for either a red X if you're looking to sell and a green X if you are looking to buy. So those are my three particular models there. Let's see. Huh. Um, um, Mm. Um, just a second. Um, Thursday. And I'm not sure if we're gonna get any other trades for today, to be honest. Yes, so today the market is just moving pretty slow. Uh, right, let's do this. Yeah, so here really unless we close below the 30-minute EMA, let me see. If we close below the 30-minute EMA, yeah, but even if we close below the 30-minute EMA, it wouldn't be a sell. On the hourly, it wouldn't be a sell. So there's no EMA entry we can get here. None of these candles would validate any sells for EMAs. So for sells, the only sell we could get here is an SAR sell. So if price keeps pushing up, that's where we would get a sell. But, again, looking at this, if you look at the wicks here, this is a big wick right here. So again, for me, my overall direction for today was bearish. Maybe up until this 30-minute EMA too. So best case scenario right now is for price to push here for a potential buy. So this is the best case scenario. We are not going to get any sells based off of EMAs. We might get a sell based off of an SAR, like for example, this 30-minute SAR right here. But right now for me, I'm still direction-wise, I'm still looking at potential sells. So again here, right? This is so for example here yesterday, and this is the 10 point or model one account, the threshold account. So yesterday had three back-to-back losses. So this is a 200K account risking 1% per account per trade. So I lost 6K. But in just that one trade that I won, I made 4,200. So I made back close to 80% of my loss yesterday. So that's why when I say for you guys, especially when we take two back-to-back losses. So you can see for me yesterday, I didn't trade in the afternoon session whatsoever. Um, so for me, like I'm at a point where if I take three back-to-back losses, I'm fine with that because I just wait for the next day and I don't have a feeling or risk of over trading like I used to when I started trading. So what I'll say is if you guys are also in the same place where you're comfortable taking three back-to-back losses instead of two, and you are not going to get emotional or start revenge trading, you can still take three trades. You can still cap your trades for the day at three, just as I do. Because once we win, like for example, today, if I win another trade, I would get back my loss from yesterday and actually be up in profit. But you can see for this 10-point threshold account, I'm back in profit for the week at about 2K for the week. So yeah, so just keep that in mind. Yeah, but for you guys, I'm still going to cap losing trades at two back-to-back losses in a day. Well, for me, I'll still keep it at three. So this one was based off of a 4 hour, and this one was an EMA rejection scalp. This one was I think it was EMA one, and I'll update the others sometime. Um. Yeah, so this one is model two trend change. So today I took a loss on this one. So for this particular account, so 4K loss for the week and then 2K today. So I'm actually down 6,000 on this one account. And the trend change, no, the model three, which is the structure change, I'm pretty sure I'm down as well. So this one I'm actually down 8,000. So I think this is for the structure change or model three, this is my biggest losing week ever since yeah, like it's literally, I've never had my biggest loss was 6,000. So yeah, for the structure change, which is the 1:1 risk to reward, so 6,000 plus 2,000 for today. So I'm actually down 8,000 on this account. So overall for all three accounts, I'm down for it. But anyway, after weeks like this, now I do expect next week, God willing, to have a better week than that. But yeah, so this is actually my worst performing week ever with the rejection scalp of the structure change entry. Well, we'll see if maybe I think best case scenario between today and tomorrow. Best case scenario, probably get it back to break even. Worst case scenario, have even a bigger loss than I already have. So price is coming back. So we still have the 30-minute SAR that's all the way up here. So just Um, there's one thing I forgot here. The other instrument that moves or that I was looking at, it moves similar to US30, based off of the strategies I have is the DAX, which is Germany 30. Well, I think it's Germany 40 nowadays. So it's the top. If I'm not wrong, I think it's the it's called Germany 40 nowadays and not Germany 30. But anyway, the idea is that it's similar, it's a similar index to US 30, but it's Germany's version. So it's the top 40. I want to say the top 40. It used to be the top 30 companies or most valuable companies in Germany, but I think they added 10 more. So I think it's the top 10, top 40 companies in Germany. Um, uh, it opens, I think market open for it is 8:15 p.m. Eastern time and it closes, let's see if we ask what time does DAX and close in EST. All right, so DAX market opens at 3 a.m. Eastern Time and closes at 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time. They're the trading hours for the DAX futures market, which are equivalent to 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time. So this is another instrument that's similar. So for me, I don't really trade, and this is pretty much London session, I think. Yeah, it's equivalent to London session. So I would be trading if I were to trade it. I did some back testing on it last week, and it respects the SAR levels, respects the EMA levels, respects the pre-market highs and lows for the most part. And I think it would give a similar result to US30. But for me, I don't like waking up early anymore as I used to way back to trade London. But this is a another instrument that can be traded. So for right now, so let's do the math, right? So if we want to trade the same hours as US30, so we want to trade or we would trade it the first hour and a half, so 3 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. So that's the morning session. Afternoon session would be, so let's see. I stopped trading at 11 a.m. I'd come back at 1:30. 11, 12, 1. So 2.5 hours. So 2.5 hours. Is it 2.5 hours? Yeah, 2.5 hours. So 4:30 plus 2.5 hours. So it would be 7 a.m. 7 a.m. Eastern time plus 1.5. So 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. So you know what? I might start trading DAX because I'm normally awake at like 6 or 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. So the afternoon session of DAX would be because I normally trade two sessions. I normally trade morning session and afternoon session. So afternoon session of DAX would be 7 a.m. Eastern time to 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. Um, let's see. I don't want to miss anything on US30. Give me a moment here. What I'll do, I will make a copy of this and okay, we might get this 30 uh this SAR. This is what I'll do. I'll make a copy and I'll call this DAX. Uh, 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 Germany 30. If you search Germany 40, same difference. Um, but that is the one. Let me put an alert here so that I don't miss this 30-minute SAR entry. So that 896, 906. Okay. So this one, we would, give me a second. All right, let's wait for this 30-minute entry before I go to DAX because I don't want to miss this. We also have today's pre-market high, which is somewhere around here, 44,956. So price might be, I still think we will test and tomorrow's Friday, right? So actually we might break the all-time high, given that tomorrow is Friday, and Friday typically just goes directional, and is a manipulative day. So we might just be in a buy trend right now, through tomorrow. Anyway, so let's see if we backtest this and see what happened today with DAX. So the afternoon session would be 7 a.m. Eastern time to 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And let's see what it gives us. Okay, so there's no supply or demand zone there. I'll just leave this on. All right, that 15-minute is invalid. 15-minute sell. Let's see what happened here. All right, so this one would have gotten stopped out. There was no entry here because there was no demand zone. It's 15. So today for DAX, there would have been, let me check here. Today for DAX would have been one loss on the afternoon session. Actually, no, there wouldn't be a loss because it's between 7 a.m. to 8:30. So the cutoff time for trading DAX is 8:30 a.m. in the morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. So between 7 a.m., because we're only trading for an hour and a half. So between 7 a.m., which is here, right? Yeah, an hour and a half. Between 7 a.m., which is here, to 8:30, which is here, there was no entry for a buy or sell for the EMAs. So there was nothing there. Let's look at 3 a.m. 3 a.m. to 4:30. So the morning session would be 3 a.m. Eastern time to 4:30. I was really hoping to get that 30-minute SAR on US30. Anyway, so 2:45, no entry. Yep. So there wouldn't have been any trades for DAX today because 4:30 is the cutoff. Yeah, 4:30 is the cutoff for it. Yeah, so this morning there wouldn't have been any SCR entries for DAX, whether it's the morning session or the afternoon session. For SARs, for EMAs on the other hand, let's see. Um, so 3 a.m. somewhere. Right. See, during market open, this is 2:30. Hourly EMA. Uh, anyway, it's pretty hard backtesting EMAs because they're always moving. But I think there may have been an hourly sell there. As much as it was a demand zone in 15-minute time frame. In the hourly time frame, let's see what this one was. Nope. Yeah. No, it was actually a demand zone as well on the hourly. So 15-minute, that was a supply zone, no entry. All right. So it would be 3 to 4:30, so no trade on the EMAs today for DAX. On the morning session, afternoon session would be 7 a.m., which is the next candle. 7 to 8:30. Yeah, so for today there wouldn't have been any trades for DAX during those morning and afternoon sessions, but it's worth checking. It's worth checking for anybody who's normally awake during those times for trading DAX. All right. We also formed an hourly SAR all the way at the top there. I don't know if we're going to get to it. So we have 12 minutes before I call it a day for the morning session. Almost at the 30-minute SAR. So let's see if we can get there. Let's see. All right. Mm. Okay, so we've reached the SAR itself. So I don't need, if I get a crossover sell here before getting to the 10-point threshold, I am not taking that trade, right? So remember, here are the entry requirements, and I think we'll get it. Let's see. So as soon as we touch that, okay, so I am in the 10-point entry. And then I will prepare to keep it. There's also an hourly entry at the top there. So price might go to the hourly. So you see this hourly here. So 926, 936 right here. So price might come up there. So I'm in the 10-point entry. I am waiting for so I'm in the model one. I'm waiting for model two. So if I see a red candle, where are my accounts? If I see a red candle, I am entering model 2. If I see a red X, I'm entering model 3. Let's see. And again, here are the what I'm looking for. Okay. So model 2 I'm in, and then I think we're about to get model 3. Okay. I don't like, it's not the best setup. We do have that hourly at the top there, but I'm in the 5-second as well, right there. So let's see if we can come back down from here on this to only thing here is that price can decide to shoot up to the hourly SCR that's all the way up there. If it does, then that's another possible entry at the top there. But we do have that's hourly SAR at the top there. Let's see. Let's see if this one copied this time. Why doesn't this account copy? Interesting. All right. So there definitely is some strong push down here, which is good for the sell. And let's see, let me not jinx it like yesterday. Yesterday we came close to hitting TP for the 1:1, and suddenly there was like a reversal to the upside. All right. All right, full TP on the 1:1 risk to reward entry, which is model 3. So today we are back to break even for the day. Let me make sure my trade copier is on. Yeah, it is. All right, let's see if I can hit full TP. Full TP for the other two. See if we can push further down from here. Yeah, I think we should be able to. So this trade was at 44,910. Uh, so SCR rejection scalp. Save that. All right, let's see. All right. See if I can get. So this one already hit TP, the 1:1, which is our official trade. So I still have these other two accounts running. We should be able to hit TP on this too. Only thing is that I know this hourly SAR right here is acting as a price magnet. But the beauty of this trade as well is if you look at where the wicks are rejecting from, right? Wicks are rejecting from a bearish order block, rejecting from all these SARs. So it's going to take a lot of buying pressure to push up, which it can happen. But my anticipation is that hopefully my take profit for these two accounts is hit first before price pushes up. But keep in mind, I still expect US30 to push up and break the all-time high. So we are 100 points from the all-time high. So price is pretty, I mean, 100 points is nothing for US30. So if you remember this big candle from yesterday, this candle was 736, so close to 200 points, so about 150 points candle. So I think here what may happen, if you see what happened yesterday when we got stopped out of those three trades, right? They brought price down in order to create that liquidity, pool of liquidity right here for the people who are looking to sell. And then after price came, and I know this is messy, after price came after price came down, when price revisited that high, you see this big spike that happened. So I think that's what is likely to happen here. I think price will come down a little bit in order to build that liquidity at the top there. And then once the people who are selling, like me, are out of those positions, and hopefully even bigger market players are out, then price will come back up to raid all these orders that may have been left here by people who are still holding on to sells or people who are anticipating for price not to get to the all-time high. Um, And full TP on the one is to full TP on model two. It just hit TP on my account. So for the 1:2 account, for the 10-point account, if this hits, then remember I made 4K on the other account, so this will be another 4,000. So I'll actually recoup the three back-to-back losses from yesterday, if this trade hits. So I'll make 8K on this, on those two trades. Um, Now this one gets a little tricky. Let's see the distance, 879. So I'm up 2,600. US30 might reverse anywhere from here. That's the only issue. That is the only issue, but I'm hoping. So let's see, 879 to 866. 10 points. That's not too bad for US30. So hopefully, I'm still wary of this hourly buy right here. That's the only thing that the hourly buy and the all-time high, I'm pretty sure that that is attracting price. So the only thing holding the sales down right now, and again, I think these sales are temporary, because of how close we are to the all-time high, and also tomorrow is Friday. So Friday, you normally expect the opposite to happen. So Friday tomorrow might be just a continuation of today. It's almost 11. I don't know if there's a need for me to stay on, um, since our regular trade just hit TP. So anyway, if you guys are if anybody normally takes the 1:2 or the model one trade with me, just use your due diligence. For me, I don't set break even. It's either TP or stop loss. Worst case, if this trade hits stop loss, I made 4K on the previous trade, so I'll still be up for the day 2,000. So that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, I be up for the day 8,000 on like six accounts. So we'll see. If it hits stop loss, it hits stop loss. If it hits TP, it hits CP. So whatever the market wants to do. But keep in mind, I still expect US30 to pump up, and take out probably. We do also still have the today's pre-market high, right here. So I do expect US30 to keep pushing up. But anyway, so that's it for today. It's a break-even day for us. Had one win, one loss. It is what it is. Hopefully, we can get that back tomorrow. I'm not sure if tomorrow we'll have a live session, but we'll see. But if not, hopefully you guys have a good rest of your week. And I'll talk to you guys either